It was because of the way that I am that my mother, like, got rid of me because, I'm a lesbian. Like, the first 2 weeks, I was sleeping on the street, literally, like in a park or the police station.
Last year, there were more than 22,000 registered homeless students within the Chicago public school system. Of that 22,000, 1,500 of them lived in foster care, shelters, and public places like parks and trains. Now, a new documentary called The Homestretch follows 3 Chicago teenagers and young adults as they pull themselves out of those terrible situations. And joining us this morning is one of those young adults who you just saw in that video, 24-year-old Kasey White. Yes. Kasey, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
And thank you for being so brave and sharing your story. That is one of the reasons I just did a story a couple of months ago about teenagers, young adults being homeless in Chicago, and what you just said, because of your sexuality, that was maybe the #1 reason why teens left their home, because of their lifestyles.
Yeah, that is true. The LGBTQ community has the highest percentages of homeless youth.
And your mother, your parents just didn't want to accept who Kasey is?
Yeah, at the time, my mama, she really wasn't feeling the whole sexuality thing. So, I mean, I was a good child, I wasn't really disobedient. I was a teenager, pretty much, but for that most, she couldn't accept it at the time. So, yeah, she did kind of put me out.
So you left, or she put you out?
It was a combination of both. She did put me out, but she asked me to come back, and I chose to stay away because I felt that if I would have stayed, I would still be there right now. And I honestly feel if she wouldn't have put me out, I wouldn't be where I am today.
And Kasey, how hard was that to be a high school student in the Chicago area and be homeless? Were you embarrassed? Were you ashamed?
Yeah, I mean, a good majority of my high school career, I was pretty much homeless, but I was homeless with my family during my high school career. And a lot of my friends didn't even know about it because I felt ashamed about it.
Exactly.
Because I didn't want to, when you think of homelessness, you think of, oh, you're poor, you don't have any money, you're sleeping out on the street.
Right.
And I didn't want nobody to have that perception of me, so I didn't really tell anybody.
But you did that for 2 weeks, you say, after leaving your home. You were basically, like you said, slept in police stations, slept in parks.
Yeah.
How were you able to survive on the streets like that?
I mean, it's all the will of the mind. It's just, I knew that the situation was temporary, so I just kept going. I mean, I didn't really know of a lot of resources at the time, but the fact that I knew that it would get better, it just kept me going.
But your safety.
Yeah, I mean, I've lived in Chicago all my life.
A little girl out there, basically, out there by yourself. Talk to us about why you decided to be part of this Homestretch, because now everybody knows your story.
Yeah, I was actually approached by Ann and Kirsten, the 2 directors. We had a large meeting with 23 other youth. And after the meeting, the directors approached me saying that they really loved the way that I spoke. And they wanted to get to know me one-on-one. And I said, sure, if you got the ears to listen to what I have to say, then of course you can do that. And from there, we just built a very nice relationship. They were coming to see me. I mean, of course, the cameras were there.
Right.
But it didn't feel like it because it just felt like they were genuinely trying to figure out what was going on. Why is this happening? What's going on with Kasey, the person, instead of Kasey, the storyline? So I became really comfortable with them, and it just kind of went on from there.
And what do you want people to get out of seeing and hearing your stories, you and the 2 others who participated in it?
Honestly, I want the stigma of homeless youth to be broken. I mean, youth in Chicago, but pretty much youth in general, have a bad stigma to them,
right?
Especially when it comes to being homeless. And we wanted to break that stigma that there is no success. There is a success. There's not just the sleeping under the bridge or the homeless to Harvard. We're kind of show that gray area where we're not Harvard, but we're good. We're comfortable, we're safe, we're getting in school, we're getting these jobs, or we're getting in these apartments. Even just the facilities alone, there is a gray area that there is some type of success as long as we have the mindset to do that. And I wanted to break that stigma that no matter where you come from, me being a part of the LGBTQ community, Anthony being a part of DCFS, and Rocky being a part of immigration, those are 3 totally different storylines, but they play so well together, how it's fabric in the movie that it breaks every stigma of those situations.
Kasey, Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
See, you're 24 years old now, doing very well, obviously. Thank you so much. If people want more information about the documentary, I'd love your shirt too. Be brave, be bold,
I thought this was the perfect shirt.
If they want more information, there is the address there, www.homestretchdoc.com.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So